Ghost of Tsushima was a smash hit for Sucker Punch. It became a prime example of what an open-world action-adventure game should be and set the standard for samurai games going forward. Players instantly fell in love with its beautiful world, massive amount of unique and engaging content, and interesting, relatable characters. Plenty of other games offer a similar experience to Ghost of Tsushima. The Witcher 3 delivers just as much intrigue and entertainment, while Ghostwire Tokyo stunningly recreates a different part of Japan, with the same care and attention to detail as the island of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is a phenomenal game. Some would even call it a masterpiece. But it's not the only adventure out there. Like many other samurai-style games, Onimusha Warlords draws heavily from Japanese mythology for its story and characters. Many of the enemies are based on Japanese demons known as Oni and Genma. While Onimusha Warlords leans more into fantasy and mythos than Ghost of Tsushima, it remains a fun and engaging game that fans are likely to enjoy. Set in the Sengoku period of Japan, Onimusha Warlords follows the samurai Samanosuke Akechi. With the help of his partner Kaide, Samanosuke sets out to rescue his cousin, Princess Yuki of the Akechi clan, who has been abducted by demonic Genma. Though a bit rough around the edges by today's standards, Onimusha Warlords was the definitive samurai game for the PlayStation 2. Trek to Yomi was heavily inspired by the golden age of Japanese cinema, featuring black and white noir-style graphics. Like Ghost of Tsushima, Trek to Yomi follows the story of a strong-willed samurai determined to do whatever it takes to defend their people. Both games use exceptional world-building to immerse players in their respective eras of Japan. Trek to Yomi and Ghost of Tsushima share thematic elements in which the protagonist must search within themselves to find the answers needed to fulfill their duty. Honoring his dying master's last wish, Hiroki swears to protect his village and the master's daughter at any cost. Years later, Hiroki becomes the only thing standing between his village and destruction by a menacing warlord, and Hiroki swears to protect his village and destruction by a menacing warlord. Trek to Yomi may not be as much of a spectacle as Ghost of Tsushima, but it remains a fantastic AA experience that any fan would enjoy. Even though it leans more into mythology, Black Myth Wukong features a world and characters that feel strikingly realistic, much like Ghost of Tsushima. For a team of developers venturing into uncharted territory with a project of this scale, Game Science poured extraordinary care and effort into bringing their game to life and crafting a memorable experience for players. Both Black Myth Wukong and Ghost of Tsushima are testaments to what can be achieved when passion drives the development process. Largely inspired by the classic 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West, Black Myth Wukong follows the Destined One on a quest to retrieve 6 relics. These relics represent the 6 senses of Sun Wukong, stripped from him and scattered across the land by the Celestial Council after he defied their call to join them. The Destined One must recover these relics to make Sun Wukong whole again. While the story of Black Myth Wukong may not be as crisp as Ghost of Tsushima's, it is still a tale that will be fondly remembered by those who experience it. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is an action-adventure game heavily influenced by Japanese culture and mythology, much like Ghosts of Tsushima. Set during Japan's Sengoku period, this title takes players on an action-packed journey filled with intense combat and exploration while telling a unique story. Sekiro is a fan-favorite From Software title thanks to its stellar mythological character designs, challenging and engaging combat, and expansive world-building. Wolf, a shinobi, is dedicated to protecting a young lord named Kuru, the last of the dragon's heritage bloodline. Members of the Ashina clan seek to exploit Kuru to gain immortality, and it's up to Wolf to stop them and end the conflict once and for all. Fans of Ghost of Tsushima looking for a similarly immersive and action-driven experience should definitely try Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Rise of the Ronin may play a bit differently, but it's clear the developers drew significant inspiration from Ghost of Tsushima. Team Ninja set out to craft a unique samurai experience that resonates with fans of the genre while standing out among similar titles. While it may still live in Ghost of Tsushima's shadow, Rise of the Ronin is an enjoyable and creative open-world action game that offers plenty of fun and set at the very end of Japan's Edo era. Rise of the Ronin follows the story of the Blade Twins, two warriors who survived the massacre of their clan as children. The player character is completely customizable and serves as a blank slate to emphasize forging a personal journey throughout the game. Rise of the Ronin is an incredibly fun and original samurai game that fans of the genre are sure to adore. Ghost of Tsushima Red Dead Redemption 2 tells a phenomenal, heartfelt story set in a breathtaking, open-world environment filled with an astonishing amount of engaging and entertaining content. In both games, the developers took a real historical setting and crafted compelling what-if narratives. RDR2 and Ghost of Tsushima stand as prime examples of what can be achieved with meticulous care and attention to detail. Red Dead Redemption 2 stars Arthur Morgan, one of the last remaining members of the Vandalin gang. Arthur and the gang are struggling to survive as the Wild West era comes to an end, and some are willing to do whatever it takes. Players must grapple with the morality of their decisions as Arthur confronts his own inner conflicts. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just for fans of Ghost of Tsushima, it's for anyone who loves grand, larger-than-life adventure games. Larger-than-life adventure games. While Wolong Fallen Dynasty is based on Chinese beliefs and mythology rather than Japanese, it remains as faithful to its inspiration as Ghost of Tsushima does. Both Team Ninja and Sucker Punch did a fantastic job representing the history and culture that they centered their games around. Wolong Fallen Dynasty is a challenging and exhilarating journey through China's fantastical mythos as players take on the role of a nameless, customizable character in Wolong Fallen Dynasty and can choose from 5 distinct combat classes set during the latter half of the Han Dynasty. Just before the era of the Three Kingdoms, players encounter a mix of Chinese historical figures and mythological demons. Fans of Ghost of Tsushima looking to explore a different culture and style of gameplay should consider giving Wolong Fallen Dynasty a try. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt had a massive influence on nearly every open-world game that followed, including Ghost of Tsushima. It arrived at a time when open-world games often prioritized quantity over quality, but CD Projekt Red proved that with a little extra care and effort, these vast adventures can be hundreds of hours long and still be interesting from start to finish. Based on the Polish novels of the same name, The Witcher 3 follows the story of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as a Witcher. Geralt embarks on a quest to find his adopted daughter Ciri, who's being pursued by a mythical group of hunters known as the Wild Hunt. Along the way, Geralt helps Ciri uncover her own destiny. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is everything an open-world game like Ghost of Tsushima strives to be. With immaculate attention to detail, the developers of Ghostwire Tokyo created a stunning adaptation of Tokyo, Japan, while honoring its real-life counterpart, much like Sucker Punch did with the island of Tsushima. Both games celebrate Japanese culture and showcase its versatility. While the story might not be as memorable as Ghost of Tsushima's, Ghostwire Tokyo is still a fun and inspired adventure. After the game's protagonist, Akito, is fatally wounded in a motorcycle accident, he becomes possessed by a spirit that grants him a range of supernatural powers and abilities. A mysterious cult causes Tokyo's citizens to vanish, replacing them with ghoulish specters. When Akito's sister becomes entangled with the cult, he searches the city, battling demonic nightmares to save her and the rest of Tokyo. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is as much a Viking simulator as Ghost of Tsushima is a samurai simulator. Both games faithfully recreate their respective time periods and excel at making players feel immersed in those worlds. Valhalla offers a wealth of interesting content, and while there may be a lot of fluff, there are still plenty of great times to be had as a Viking. Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes place during the Vikings' expansion into the British Isles. Eivor Varensdottir, a Viking raider, helps the Raven clan establish the settlement of Ravensthorpe in the heart of Mercia, England. Ivor and their adopted brother Sigurd become entangled in a centuries-old conflict between the Hidden Ones and the Order of the Ancients. While Assassin's Creed Valhalla may not feel as refined as Ghost of Tsushima to some, fans will appreciate its similar style of gameplay and expansive open world.